All right, this whole drama between Billie Lee and Tom's new girlfriend, I covered it a little bit yesterday during my video regarding Ariana and Tom's house. But since then, there has been some recent development. I posted that video, I think, earlier in the day yesterday. And since then, both Billie Lee and Tom's new girlfriend are at it. So let's get into it. Happy Friday, y'all. Subscribe, do all the good YouTube stuff, and let's get into it. Okay, if I look like I have a little bit more energy, it's because I went out in the rain this afternoon. Your girl got some chocolate cake, a matcha latte. We got to treat ourselves. Anyways, let's get into this mess. So I covered it a little bit yesterday, but essentially, Billie Lee talked a little smack about Tom's new girlfriend, Victoria, how since Victoria got in Tom's life, he was sober for a bit, but now he's starting to drink. Victoria apparently demands Tom Sandoval to move Ariana's stuff out of the primary bedroom and into I don't know where, but just to move her stuff out, which is ridiculous because Ariana owns half the house. Obviously, it's in her name. There's a whole lawsuit situation going down between Ariana and Tom with lawyers heavily involved now. And yeah, that was the video from yesterday. Um, if Tom's new girlfriend, Victoria, who used to date Leonardo DiCaprio, but obviously she's not dating him anymore because she aged out. If she did make such a demand, that is pretty outrageous. Like, how are you gonna go to Tom and Ariana's house and tell Tom to move out Ariana's stuff from the primary bedroom? Like, that's her house too. Who are you to make any demands? Just because Ariana doesn't live there anymore, she has her new house, which congrats to Ariana. That doesn't mean she needs to move her stuff immediately. No bueno. Let's continue. Billy also said that she's worried that Sandoval and his friends that work with him, he's not really showing up to meetings. And if the man isn't showing up to meetings, that means potentially he's not going to take on new work. And as we know, last season, he was talking about how he would do a cash transfer 500 here, 1,000 there. His money situation makes no sense. We've covered it in length. It just none of it makes any sense. So, the guy is off to I believe he's currently filming for Traders in Scotland right now. And the news came out he's on Traders and I guess he just left for it is my understanding. And now these women are fighting. And he also feels sick every day, according to Billy. And because of this development and how Sandoval is behaving, she tried to hold an intervention at Kyle Chan's jewelry store. But Victoria was not part of that intervention. And I guess Tom caught wind of it and then he didn't end up showing up. So that's essentially what Billie Lee said in her podcast. I feel like with Vanderpump Rules, there's like Vanderpump Rules main cast, and then you see like their friends hovering around, which is like the second tier sideshow people, like Billie Lee. And then there's like another, I don't know, another group of people just like lingering on. It's very weird. But anyways, we also have Joe on that podcast, and I told you guys this a little bit yesterday. Anytime I see Joe, I'm a perfectly calm person. That's usually my demeanor. I'm not like rowdy. That's just not how I am. But when I see Joe Schmo, I start to get anxiety, even if I feel perfectly normal and fine. I shouldn't use the word normal, but you guys get what I mean. When you just feel calm, but then you see Joe, and then you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Anyway, so that's what Billie Lee said. And then we have Miss Victoria Lee Robinson, Tom Sandoval's new girlfriend. She's like, on her Instagram. I think someone said it's private now, but I have to check. But she did the whole, like, putting up text with a black background, and there's a reason I place attention to that because that kinda ties into what I'm about to say next. Also, I know this is not something normal to say, but I will tell you guys at the end of this video what the new development will be of this whole Billie Lee, who is Tom's good friend, versus Victoria Lee, Tom's girlfriend. I know that's usually weird to say, when someone's like retelling or sharing a story, it's like, this is what happened. I know it's weird to say, oh, I know what's going to happen, but I will tell you guys in this instance what the new development will be today, tomorrow onward. But, anyways, we'll get to that. So, Victoria Lee obviously saw Billie Lee. Oh, they both have a Lee in their name. I don't know why I just realized that. So Victoria responded with the black background and white text. But first, let me make something very clear. I have never and would never touch belongings that aren't mine, nor have I suggested to do so. I have nothing but respect for Ariana, and it's not my place to get involved. Girls, shoot your shot at staying relevant with your lies and made up stories, but the truth will come out soon enough. So that's the part I'm going to share more about later on. But, anyways, they're just going back and forth on social media when Tom is, I guess, off shooting for traders. And then Billie Lee comes out and she's just making fun of Victoria, how she used like the black background with the text. And she's just like, well, of course you didn't say anything because we don't want to hear from you because then you would be slurring your words. In in regards to Victoria, Billy is just saying how all Tom and Victoria does is just like sleep in all day. They just like get up to eat food, maybe go out somewhere. She is extremely toxic and she hasn't had a proper job. She doesn't know how to keep a proper job. She barely works. I don't know too much about this model, Victoria. She just kind of came out of nowhere in for me at least. Like I'm not aware of her. Like she's not like, come on, let's be real. She's not like Adriana Lima from, Victoria's Secret or, the Bella Hadid or, any of those models. She's a model who happened to date Leonardo DiCaprio, but what model under the age of 25 hasn't been with Leonardo DiCaprio, right? So let's just call it for what it is. Very pretty girl, though. Anyways, this is all the crap that Billy is saying. It's just out of nowhere. But now let's get to what will happen from here on out. So, in response to Billie Lee, Victoria's like, in response to the outrageous lies with the recent Billy and Joe podcast, I can't but believe she's dragging Joe into this. Good for her. Drag Joe. Drag Joe. Everyone drag Joe. Since Joe Schmo wants to be in everyone's business, everyone drag Schmo. Joe Schmo. There we go. In response to the outrageous lies with the recent Billy and Joe podcast, absolute lies. Response with the truth coming soon. Okay, so I was watching Up and Adam, whose content I enjoy a lot. And while I was getting ready today in the afternoon, he was saying that he will be interviewing Billie Lee and Kyle Chan. So I know it's weird to say this is a story, and I know what's going to be next in the development. But if you guys haven't heard from Up and Adam, you're hearing it from me on Bravo Hot Tea. My understanding is Up and Adam will have the interview with Victoria, Tom's girlfriend, and Kyle Chan might be a part of it as well. And then I will, of course, report back because, hey, while main cast is, doing their own thing, we have like the second tier folks of Vanderpump Rules, I don't know, doing the most in the public eye. And, Billie Lee, I didn't know she was a comedian, and she went on tour and stuff. So, if that's the case, this is, good publicity for her. I actually didn't know what Billie Lee did. I just thought she was, like, Tom's assistant at one point is what I thought she was because, like, his unofficial assistant, because the girl would be at his beck and call, and I'm just like, "I don't understand, you guys are good friends." Like, I have good friends too, but, like, if I'm sick, they'll, order me some soup or whatever. If they're going through something, I'm there for them. But I don't have friends looking at me as I'm telling them my story and they're in complete awe. I mean, I don't know how friendship works for the rest of you, but us, like, regular folks, not famous, we don't usually have friends at our beck and call. And if we do, something's a little off here. Anyways, guys, definitely subscribe, turn on your notifications. I talk all things Bravo, Housewives, VPR, some fun pop culture tea. I post pretty much every day. I try to post daily. Lots of good goss here on Bravo Hot Tea. I will definitely report back as we get more of on this news story, more development on this news story, and I will catch you all later.